what?
You want real? You probably didn't. That's cool. We'll talk after.
Yeah, like the real.
Don't worry about it. Hi, I'm Austin Rhythm.
And I'm Taylor Pan. Welcome to Kitchen Table Podcast.
Here to motivate, educate, and relate to you guys, sharing our stories, help me get 1% better in all areas of your life. Welcome to Season 5. Also, we never celebrated. This is year 3 of the podcast, officially. Big round of applause there. Taylor's enthused by it. This
I
is
don't
year
want to clap too loud. I don't want to like.
We're starting year
break the
3.
speakers.
His speaker's good.
Yeah. Year 3.
Yep. New and improved setup here. Good to go. Well, not set up really. We've got a setup's got to.
Yeah.
We're working through it.
I got to work in here now, so I could pull
I
out.
know. That's what I was thinking. We could get like the paparazzi. We could get the TV just going up there too. Get a new mic. We got it going.
Yeah.
Anyways, we only got 14 minutes and 40 seconds here. Remember that is 1% of your day to get better. So this season, we were talking about reflecting on Tuesday, what we learned the past week, and on Thursday, or the 1440, we're going to talk about how we can use that to get better in our lives and hopefully help you guys get better in your lives as well. So Tuesday, we talked about 3 main things. We talked about where we saw God in the week, and the 2 main things with that was how Taylor felt that he maybe has stonewalled God a couple times. Then he discussed some leadership, and then we both talked about one of our best friends got married, and we saw a lot of different God moments in that. And then lastly, I heard from a quote from The Last Dance that I rewatched this past week of what greatness requires. So we'll kind of discuss in our own lives what that might entail. So without further ado, here we go. We need a intro. I should pause and do that.
Yeah, so like kind of moving forward, like when I was like talking about like stonewalling God, and that I think just opening myself up in prayer, and that like I wrote down that having an open heart. Yeah, I did. I said I really forgot I wrote this earlier, and then I was talking about it and you read it. I didn't say it on Tuesday, but I literally said like letting God work your heart, and that also, which I think. Go ahead.
It's your story.
You're good. But I was just gonna say like I think sometimes like I just get caught in the moment, and I'm very good at like shutting my feelings off and emotions, and I think sometimes like that is a very good thing for me. It's a very bad thing. Like, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Why can it be good and why can it be bad?
For me, is that in my job, not having emotions in certain situations is very yes. Because when you don't react to certain situations, people can't move, and when you move out of emotion, you're not thinking, and that you're not. I wouldn't say you're not thinking because you are thinking, but you don't have. I don't know. Like you don't have like complete control over everything that you do. So like if you're frustrated, like you always like genuinely have to apologize after an argument after they're mad because they say things that they think but they wish they hadn't said. Yeah. And that because I think everything people say like maybe they don't mean, but honestly you think it. So at some point you have thought it and meant it. But sometimes like those things aren't necessarily. One might not necessarily be true, but may not be helpful to this like certain situation. So people always have to apologize, or they look stupid, or they do irrational things out of emotion. Yeah. So I think I don't say being emotionless, but just being able to have very much emotional control is very good. But sometimes I'm too good at it, if that makes sense. So I think like sometimes like I'm very much like you need. I think people like kids call me a robot sometimes because I'm very like this. Like I'm very like not black and white, but like straight. I straight business. Like there's no play around time. There's no like emotion behind it. Just get things done. Do things right way. Like I don't say military, but like very like drill sergeant-y.
Yeah, I'm probably more that. I'm probably just built more that way too.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that when you mentioned about like letting God do it, like That is, I think, really good because I've been really big on just letting things flow lately. I'm not that type of person, but when you care less about stuff, it really goes back to the wedding, right? Whatever my wife wants, in the end, great. Whatever you want, good. I'll go with it. Like I don't care. And like we were trying to pick out a dog the other day, and at first I was like, yeah, let's do this dog, so it's cheaper. And then she obviously was in love with this other dog. Like she was emotionally attached to it, and it's not even ours yet. So I was like, you know what? Just pick. I don't care. Like whatever you want. She's like, no, you actually do care. I was like, no, I truly do not care.
Yeah.
Like so when you just stress less about things or just let it happen, it's so like happiness is just so much more prevalent because there's less expectation. Not that you shouldn't have expectations, but when you I can't have control over some of it if we get the dog based on where we're at in the list. So you pick the ones you really want, and I'm good with them. They're going to be our puppy no matter what, and in the end, it'll be great to have it.
And it's crazy. That's like the last thing I wrote down was like not stressing over outcomes.
Yeah, I mean,
and that like at the end of the day, like, do I want certain things to happen in my life? Yes.
Yeah.
Am I going to stop my life from happening because I want those things to happen? I think is really going to be the deciding factor in my life, my roadblock.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that keeps me going now that like sports might be over for me is that whatever God has planned, I feel like I'm still on that path.
Mm-hmm.
And if I keep doing my part, something good will happen. I tell that to the kids all the time with the Valley baseball team I'm working with. You guys are doing everything that you're being asked to do, and you're getting better at the plate. Success will come at some point. You know, and the other team I'm working with DCG's football team, the pounding the stone is their mentality. They've had the last 2 seasons have been 1-8 and 2-8. If they just keep pounding the stone, keep showing up, keep doing the right things, do the hard things, stay disciplined, eventually success will happen. And it might not be not be a state championship, but it'll be something later in life that you can use to help your family, to start a business, to save somebody's life, whatever it might be. And that's important.
At the end of the day, like, of course, everyone wants to win, but unfortunately, life's not built that way. Like, not everyone wins all the time. So, like, there's so much life lessons in losing.
Yeah.
And so, like, going 1-8 as a high schooler gotta suck. But in the day, like, then 3 years later, how much like life lessons you take away from like continuously like facing disappointment, facing loss, facing all these like negative emotions when actually like life starts happening.
Yeah, and you must fail to be good at life, honestly.
Yeah.
When I did bad in college for football in front of 70,000 people at Iowa State, remember that game?
Yeah.
I just felt like the world was crashing down. But now looking back, I'm so much better. I was talking to a kid the other day who there's bases loaded, and he struck out or grounded out to end. I think he struck out to end the game. Ooh. And he was like pissed, and I was like, you know what, this sucks, but in the end, it doesn't matter. You could have had a nice hit on the wall, and they could have caught it.
Yeah.
So either way, now it's an out, you know. Mm-hmm. So dealing with that pressure now, or the failure, I guess, or shortcomings is the word I've been like to use lately.
Yeah.
That's better now. And I told a kid today, like, hey, you're gonna play college baseball. Like, let's make mistakes now in high school, so when you get to college, you don't have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to make a mistake in a high school game than be playing Division I baseball. The next thing you know, you're losing playing time and your confidence is low because you can't get your crap together. Mm-hmm. So it's good to fail.
Yeah.
Especially early on.
Yeah.
So number 2 here. Sorry, you have more with that?
No,
we got. I know. 10 minutes in. That'd be a 28 minute here. All right. So number 2 with Will and Kayla's wedding. 2 of our friends got married. My question was, this is probably more for me than you, but you can say what you think might be important. That might be a good perspective, actually.
Okay.
Keys to marriage. I saw this thing on Instagram literally right after the wedding. And there's a ton of keys, but I think the biggest one is you got to communicate honestly with your spouse. I think your love life has to be abundant, whether that's dates or intimacy, whatever it is you want to call the word for it.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be prevalent in your marriage. Mm-hmm. And I think that you have to truly trust, and in terms of love, you need to do anything for that person in order to let every situation, life, death, look at it as that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever they truly want to be successful, or they need to be successful,
mm-hmm.
you need to be by their side and be a cheerleader
mm-hmm.
and take their side. And it also takes, I think, a lot of give and take and self-respect and respect from them. But I really think the communication and honest communication is the biggest thing. Because
mm-hmm.
if you don't have that, then you're just beating around the bush, and that's not good for a marriage. Even if they don't like what you're going to say, I think it has to be said to learn and move on from that situation. So that's what I think. What do you think a key to marriage would be? You have one?
I said push pull, but like give and take, compromise. Yeah, and I put pure, and I like pure friendship.
That's good too.
And that I think through love is first is friendship.
I agree. Yeah, we've talked a lot about that actually.
Yeah.
That's where the dates I think are really important.
Yeah.
Even if you guys spend money or whatever, it's worth the money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to get $100 steak, but that'd be nice.
Right.
Taters and some asparagus and a nice dessert wine.
Mm-hmm.
Whew! Take me out to dinner.
Yeah.
Another thing with the wedding, I think that I didn't say that was important, is the best part about emotional times or whatever, strong emotions like I was talking about on Tuesday, is you really build relationships. And when you build relationships by having those intimate conversations or philosophical conversations, places where you're vulnerable, that enhances it even more. I love, I know you weren't at the bachelor party, but bachelor party, sitting around the fire, having those deep conversations. Of course, a couple of drinks helps that. And then at the wedding, just seeing the pure joy. People say things that they normally say when you're at dinner on a Friday night, think about the conversations you have when it's somebody's best night of their life. That's something that people never forget, and it's a big memory. I think building those relationships is super important moving forward in those days that we're looking forward to. So I want to continue to have those with friends, family, whatever. And then last thing here for what is greatness required, for me, I think it's taking action.
Yeah.
Whatever my goals are, like I said, after the wedding, it was kind of depressing. You got to keep taking action in it. Whether that's meeting up with people in my business, it's building relationships. How can I make the sessions better? How can I give each team what they need, because everybody's different? How can I set my schedule timing wise because I might be working weirder hours? And just myself, how can I be a role model in my workout schedule, in my productivity to relate to coaches, parents, kids, peers, all that kind of stuff to reach my goals. So I really think greatness requires a lot of action, and that's going to be different for everybody based on their goal. But without action and discipline and joy of doing it, I don't think it's going to go real far.
I said moving with purpose and intention.
Yeah, I like that. I should have used that. That's much better worded.
Sometimes I say smart things.
Yeah, once in a while. Every blue moon.
Yeah, smart things come out of my mouth.
Nice.
Yeah, I think just when you, I don't want to say play the chessboard, but when you actually think about how you're moving instead of just doing things willy-nilly, like flying, just being blown by the wind, and that, but actually moving with intention and purpose, I wouldn't say go farther faster, but you figure out more a lot sooner.
I would agree with that.
And not to say that the other way, spontaneous or just moving,
yeah, sometimes you get it.
But when you're trying to be great or great at a certain thing, at the end of the day, moving in with intention and purpose is going to get you a lot farther.
Let's put it this way. If you take the greatest athletes that everybody knows, Messi, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps, I know, they all moved with purpose. They didn't just willy-nilly fall into their spot.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And that's what I'm saying.
I like it. Good way to end. All right, 15 minutes went over by 20 seconds, but love you guys. We'll catch you on Tuesday.
Have a great rest of your week. Love you. Bye.